Hey guys, this is Dion here with Your Guitar Academy, and in this lesson, I'm going to be taking you through a super cool chord progression in the key of D major using some of these new fruity chord voicings. So grab your guitar, let's get going. If you've just joined us, don't forget you can head straight to the website to get all the additional course materials, including tabs, chord boxes, backing tracks, all entirely free. And also, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We always love to hear how you're getting on with the material. So what I wanted to show you with this progression is how you can also use these chords in something other than a 2-5-1. So we're going to take a progression in the key of D major. Okay, so I'm going to first play them as their regular 7th chords, and then we're going to look at subbing them in again for some of these fruitier ones. So first is a B minor 7, then an F sharp minor 7, then an E minor 7, then an A dominant 7, then a D major 7. So if we're talking numerals, a 6, 3, 5, 1. Okay, so you see we're tagging that 2-5-1 that we've already looked at on at the end, but we're also starting with a 6 chord and a 3 chord, which is a really cool sound. So let's look at how we can turn these regular 7th chords into something more interesting with our existing fruity voicing. So first one, the 6th chord, which is the B minor 7. I want to turn that into a B minor 9. So let's use this voicing that we looked at in the first lesson. Lovely voicing with the 9 on top. So we've got the thumb there on the low E string 7th fret, barring with my first finger across the 7th fret from the D to the higher E. 4th finger there is playing the 9th fret on the higher E string. That's our first voicing. Cool. And we can play each chord for a bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, our next chord was going to be the 3 chord in the key of D major, which was going to be an F sharp minor 7. Okay, but let's turn that one into an F sharp minor 9 using that voicing. Nice. So 2nd finger on the 9th fret of A, 1st finger on the 7th fret of D, 3rd finger on the 9th fret of G, 4th finger on the 9th fret of B. Lovely. So that would give us, as opposed to, sorry, slightly different sound, but functioning in much the same way. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what we're doing next is bringing that exact voicing. Remember, the next chord was an E minor 7. And if you wanted to, you could play that E minor 7 just as an E minor 7. But why don't we just move this 9 chord voicing down a tone? So that's now taken that exact same shape, placed it onto the 7th fret. So far, B minor 9, 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor 9, 2, 3, 4. E minor 9, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Okay, so. So remember, after that, we had our A7 chord. So I want to sub this one in. I want to show you a fun little trick that I like to use here. And it's also, again, another fun little trick that Misch uses too. So what we want to play here is, instead of this A dominant 7th chord, I want to play what's called an A11, also known as a G major over A. The reason for that, we have a G major triad here, and in the root note is an A. But it's also called an A11 because we have the interval of an 11 in there, okay, which is it's basically a 4th up the octave. So it's kind of a cool, sometimes kind of sussy sort of sound. It's used in a lot of kind of like soul and Motown music. But the reason why I want to use this is because that gives us a little bit less tension than the 13 flat 9 to go to there. But it's cool because we have, on this 5 chord, we can have different steps of tension before we go back. So take a look at my first 2 fingers here. So if I play this 11 chord, and I'll show you the voicing, so I didn't explain the fingers properly. So we've got 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the low E, 4th finger on the 5th fret of D, 2nd finger on the 4th fret of G, 1st finger on the 3rd fret of B, and you can also bar that 1st finger to get this 3rd fret on the high E string as well. And also your 3rd finger should just be touching on that A string so as to mute it. Okay, so if I have that and then I go and move, you see if I slide these down like that, it gives us the 13 flat 9. So if I hear that in context, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I do 2 beats of 11, 1, 2, 2 beats of 13 flat 9, 3, 4, and then that. It's a really nice sense of movement on that 5 chord. So again, so it's again just really playing with that idea of a a fairly light dominant 7th chord, and then bringing in the darkness to lead us back to the D major 7. But remember, with the D major 7, we can make it D major 9 if we want to, which is that voice in there. So that's the 2nd finger on the 5th fret of A, 1st finger on the 4th fret of D, 4th finger on the 6th fret of G, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of B. So in total we have B minor 9, the 6th chord, F sharp minor 9, the 3 chord, E minor 9, the 2 chord, A11, which is the 5 chord, moving to A13 flat 9. It's still the 5 chord, we've just added those alterations, and then our 1 chord, which is D major 9. So let's have a little listen with a drum beat. And what I really want you to be listening out for here is how everything leads us nicely, as I said before, back to that 1 chord, that tonal center. So and maybe go around again. And that's just a really, really nice application of these chords to a slightly longer progression than a 2-5-1. But as you can see, the 2-5-1 still features heavily in this progression to bring us back to that 1 chord, as is very common in this style of music. So take your time with that. There's a lot to absorb there. There's quite a lot of chords to work in there, especially that 11 chord, which is a new voicing for you. But I want you to just see how that relates nicely to that 13 flat 9 chord, how you can just drag that top part down a semitone and get all those lovely dark alterations in there. So exactly as I just did, just try practicing that with some drums or a metronome, and start nice and slow. I'd say start around 60 BPM. You can gradually, incrementally increase that speed. You can also, if you want to, you feel free to just do downstrokes or any sort of strumming pattern for now, but this is more just about fretting hand getting used to these new chord shapes and sounds. So just a little recap for this unit. You've got a bunch of different chord shapes to look at there, 6 in total, major 9 chords, minor 9 chords, altered 7th chords, and you can all add those to your trick bag now, so you can kind of pull them out at a moment's notice next time you're jamming with somebody, and especially next time you're jamming this type of music. So take your time with that, have fun, and I'll see you in the next unit. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. So if you want to head back to the start of the course, you can click here. And if you want to move on to the next video, you can click here. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, because we always love to hear how you've got on with the course.